2nd
March.
2nd of March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2nd of March.
Okay, I got it.
So basically that is what I had in mind. So, and I was able to get 2 libraries, one called Greenbot, which is what I've shared here, and another one called Auto. So the Auto library is based on Guava. So I don't know whether, Simon, you are familiar with Guava.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, the Auto library is based on Guava. It's actually a modified Guava for Android. So, and then I looked at some comparisons. I don't know whether I'll be able to open the link. I looked at a comparison between the two. It seems Green Robot does match. So I'll send you the link for the comparison, and then maybe, Simon, you can just have a look at it and comment. Oh, here it is. Eda, can you open the second link? Yeah, so this one was comparing the two, but this is done by Green Robot, so there may be bias on them. But they were comparing Auto and the event bus from Green Robot. So as you can see, Green Robot does a lot. But I think for us, what I had in mind is we'll be more interested in the first 3 items. So event inheritance and subscriber inheritance. So most of the others, we may need them so much in future.
So,
but
what does it mean, like sticky events? How is it different from other events?
Yeah, so a sticky event is an event that runs even when the application is not running.
Okay.
So assuming you have something that you want to tell Muzima, but Muzima is off. So when you raise a sticky event, the next time Muzima comes, you'll be able to get that event and react.
Okay.
Yep. So that was my first item, and that's what I was able to get.
Well, Sam, thanks for that. I would suggest you just append some of those things and the direction you're going under the to-do. To append to basically update them in the Google Doc.
Okay.
With the links and everything. And then give us a sense of which direction you're going to go once you settle on one of them.
Yeah, I was hoping Simon can just have a look at them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can agree on which to use. Personally, I was okay with Green Robot.
But update the document.
Okay. Yeah, it's what I want to do.
Yeah, because it's above our brain level, some of us. Yeah. So who's leading the meeting and what are we? Yeah, because I'm hearing silence.
No, Sam is leading the call.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, what we are doing, Martin, we were trying to go through the to-dos that we had from the last meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So between me and Savai, we were trying to update the group on what we were able to do.
Yes.
So I had begun. I had
okay. So
3 to-dos.
You started with so you're doing it by the person. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm just coming late to the conversation. That's all.
No problem. So I think my next to-do was to get the CDSS code into a repository which we all have access to. And I was able to contact Win, and luckily the CDSS code is in the OpenMRS repo. So he gave me the link, so which I'll add in the document. So currently it's accessible to all of us.
Mm-hmm. So can I just add something? So I know that Win makes some changes to the CDS, the clinical decision support module that apply in AMRS production, but we did not see those changes reflect on the GitHub. So you probably want to ask him to push his update there. That's what we realized when we did the testing, that the version in production is different from the one on the GitHub.
Yeah, so I think one thing that I may need to know is there are 2 repositories for that.
Yeah.
One is in the AMPATH repository, and one is in OpenMRS repository. The AMPATH repo seems to be more up to date compared to the OpenMRS.
That's right.
So we'll need to know what version is running in AMPATH itself. Are they running them? Yeah. The one in the repository, or the one that is OpenMRS based?
Any updates on that module are done by Win. Okay. So if anybody, no, it's Win.
So he pointed me to the one that is under OpenMRS. I'll have a chat with him.
Yeah, sometimes Win might be a little bit, he has too much on his head. So maybe it's worth asking. He'd be like, I forgot.
Yeah, but maybe still you can help us knowing what is running on production server.
I can get that for you on production, but I think he pushed the changes in production but did not update on the GitHub. That's my understanding.
Oh, okay then. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
So my last to do, I haven't worked on that. I was supposed to look at the phases that we are priorities and phases for the clinical summaries. So I haven't done that yet. So I think, do we pass to Simon for updates?
When do you plan to do the phases?
So I'll do that before the next meeting.
Can we do the next meeting tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll figure out what the next meeting is.
Yeah. So for me, I had 2 things. One, I was to confirm that when a new form is downloaded, the observations are also downloaded. So I checked and found that yes, that happens. when we download forms, the next step we are taken to is to select the concepts, and once you select the concepts, then all observations related to those concepts and to patients are currently downloaded are downloaded. The observations and the encounters are downloaded to the device. So maybe something we should look into is doing the diff for encounters and observations, because currently, if it's not a new, if it's existing observations and encounters, we overwrite. We download everything afresh and overwrite what is existing.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing too. Like, so let's say that you try to sync. Let's say that you sync a new form template, a new version for the exact same form templates. There's no changes on the concept on that form template. It would download all the ops again and override the existing one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then another thing I was to look into the logic and calculations module, see what's happening, and also how OpenMRS is handling alerts and reminders.
Mm-hmm.
So I checked through. I found that there's not much happening on those modules, the logic and the calculations. And for the alerts, what I found related to alerts and reminders was some messaging module, which again was done quite a long time ago in 2012, and not much is happening. Although what they are saying is that that module is generic, can be used to receive and send messages, and is generic for use by other modules. So I'm still checking to understand exactly what happens behind those modules, and see how we can exploit them in what we are trying to do here.
Ask something. Okay. Saba, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, I have an update
Saba,
on the. Go ahead.
Yes, Martin, I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Saba.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it would make sense to contact the community, because I am sure there are a lot of implementations that have some form of alerts or reminder type of system. What just checking, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So we might want to leverage the community for some of these things.
Yeah, so I want to give an update on the calculation module. I think it's not compatible with the new platform. There might be some work need to be done because we tried to do that with 1.1, 1.5, and it doesn't start.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Yeah, it doesn't start, and that's why it become a blocker for the clinical decision summary, because it rely on the calculation module. So that's why we cannot even move forward with that. So so the calculation module is blocking the clinical summary module. Yeah, just one FYI. It might be something small changes, but I haven't dig into it. Like, for example, like yesterday I was trying to look into other modules that have similar problems, and for example, I was looking at the data integrity module and also the patient matching module. I know that's not related to here. The reason those two modules not working because of the upgrade of OpenMRS and also Tomcat, and some of the previous variable, it used to be valid because of the names and things like that. They become invalid. So it could be something small fixes. But I haven't looked into the calculation module yet. So on the FYI, yeah.
I know. That's what I love about life. You learn something new every day, right, Jennifer?
I'm sorry.
What did Lauren learn today?
I don't know. I kind of like block the noise.
Yeah. So, Eda.
Yes.
Did it come up as Ampat was trying to upgrade to the new version of NMRS?
Yeah, because we're testing on all these existing modules with 1.1.5, and we realized the calculation module cannot start. And then because summary module depends on that, and then we cannot do that. So I haven't looked at the calculation module yet, but yesterday I was looking at other video module for empath, and I realized that some of them are small fixes, just like changing the name of some variables so that it will not break. So I don't, I would give you an update if I have more information on the calculation module.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that's going to be relevant, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, first off, is this different from what you and I talked about the other day that you need $60?
Okay. So, Vi, did you have anything else on your plate?
No.
Just to Gary. Okay. Good. So how do you feel? We are doing. Do you have a pathway forward, or is there a little bit more digestion? Again, Sam is leading this process, and so, my personal fear is sometimes we get too caught up with analysis, and we end up spending months doing it, especially if we are waiting for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I think from my side, I worked on a small. Sorry?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was working on a small sample that uses green robot event bus, and so for now I was able to do messages. So my plan is maybe by Monday I'll be able to do like 2 actions, and then I can share that with the group so that you can just have a sense of what I had in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, it will just be a small API.
Awesome. Yeah. But just on a side note, Sam, did you talk to Ataru?
Yeah, he just texted me. I'll forward you the text.
Yeah, I also spoke with him. So it seems like we only have one more step, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. So and for the other people, there's only one more person standing between Sam and coming to the IBMI. Yeah.
Yay! I hope the person is not that big.
We already have a desk for you.
Maybe 2 desks. 2 desks for you.
No. Sam doesn't get a desk, man. He gets the floor. Yeah. But no, I think once that happens, hopefully things can move a little bit more easily.
Hope so.
I just want to ask, because I wasn't on last call, but it's very helpful to see the notes and minutes. And is there anything that Sam needs that me or Simon and others can provide or to help?
Sorry?
Is there anything that you need any of us to help with mobile CDSS?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I'll need, let me first work on the last to do, because I think that will give me the direction.
Okay.
So once I'm able to work on the priorities and the phases, then it will be easier to get a picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And also, I want to share another update that we probably want to stick with the OpenMRS version of the clinical summary because I know that the MPath one is likely that they're going to throw out the clinical decision support module. They plan to do it through the POC, the point of care module. So I don't know if that's going to, it should not change what we're doing, but I just want to let you guys know what their plans are. Yeah.
Okay. So they're planning to do away with clinical summaries module?
Yeah, so what they're trying to replace, they were going to get rid of the, they plan to get rid of the clinical decision module. And by replacing it, they're going to use the point of care because they create HIV summary through there. And they also create the ETL playground to flatten some of the clinical data and also indicators that would be used for generating reminders. So for them, things will be a little bit different, but it doesn't mean that we cannot continue with the OpenMRS version of the clinical summary modules if we need to build on top of that. Because I think we have, I think our target audience is not just MPath, like outside MPath, but just want to keep in mind that there might be some changes in mCDSS in MPath. That's pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also have a question, Sam. So is the mobile CDSS going to be a separate module, or it's going to be on top of the generic OpenMRS CDSS module?
I think it depends with what functionalities we want to build on top of it. So I don't see a lot of it. So most possibly it will be part of the OpenMRS module.
Okay.
Yeah, so the discussion that we had last time is, do we have the Mozilla CDSS itself as a separate APK or as part of the core Mozilla? Yeah.
Can we do, I don't know the complexity or like if it's feasible. Is it possible to do it like it could be a standalone or it could be integrated as part of the Mozilla core? So that if some implementation they decide just to use it as it, they can have like a standalone APK just for the mobile CDSS. But then for some implementation, they want it as a whole incorporate with the core, so that it's more seamless. They cannot tell it's like separate.
I think Eda. Sorry, I was on mute a moment ago.
Sorry.
Let me just confirm if I had that will use the OpenMRS version of the CDSS module.
And that's my question for Sam. I think Sam said it looks like he's going to build on top of that for the mobile, on the OpenMRS version of the CDSS module.
Yeah, I think that's what he said, but I wanted to confirm.
Okay.
So we'll use that instead of the version.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yep.
And then the issue Eda is bringing up right now is more of the plugin discussion, right?
Sure.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the easiest option basically will be having it as part of Mozilla Android, the APK itself. The best option is to have it as a plugin. And so I think Eda has brought in a new dimension which we didn't discuss last time. So the dimension she has brought in is a place where you want to use Mozilla CDSS without using Mozilla itself.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is something that we'll need to think through. And the reason for that is that Mozilla CDSS will borrow a lot of Mozilla, and we'll have to weigh on what are the pros and cons of having it. I would wish a case where you can use Mozilla without CDSS, but if you want CDSS, then you can have it as a plugin.
So can I ask a question? So Martin, is there any scenario that people just want to use mobile CDSS without, you know, going through those like so-called like data collection or viewing the past clinical data, so that they just receive reminders themselves, you know, and to add on those without, you know, those in the core parts. That's what I'm thinking. Like, is there like, if there's a need for that, you know, maybe we should consider, so that later on when we build on it, we don't need to redo the work.
Well, I think there's a different angle to this conversation. Okay. To me, it's more, you know, we've had a lot of discussions about having plugins in Mozilla, and this is just one of those cases.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, if possible, let's start thinking about that plugin modality, because you know, that's a lot of the things that we are working on will require that functionality. You know, going back to your question, it's a little bit strange for you to just want reminders without everything else. Okay, so this might not be the perfect plugin, but no, I think that feature will be quite powerful when you have it.
So if you don't foresee like that might be like that might be a big need for just by itself, I think I agree with the approach that user can choose it without it or with it as a module, as a plugin. Then I think that would be the direction to go then.
Yes.
Yeah.
The question though becomes, how much is it to do that plugin type of thing?
Right. I still want to do it.
So maybe I'll still put that question back to maybe Eda, because she has been with Mozilla throughout.
So I would prefer. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, do you have a case where we've tried to do a demo of plugins on Mozilla?
No, we did not do any plug-in right now. You know, at first we were saying that even the notification is supposed to be plugged in, but we did not do it. So we did not do any plug-in yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, Eda. I mean, technically, what yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. Yeah. So, Sam and Simon, from an Android standpoint or from an app standpoint, how difficult is it to create apps that do plugins or add-ons?
I will let Simon go first because I don't think I've done that before.
Well, I haven't done it also, but I think it would require to do much changes to the application.
It will or it will not?
Or okay, I'm looking at the current situation. Looking at the mCDSS, some of the things we've discussed touch on forms, observations, concepts, which are kind of things that it's kind of touching most of the aspects of the current application. So I don't know how we would just make it as a plugin separate from the way we do forms. Unless if we say what Sam is doing, part of it would be within Mzima core and part of it would go into a plugin.
Yeah, so basically, I haven't done it either. And when I think of it, I don't know of an Android feature that allows you to do a plugin like the way you do modules in OpenMRS. But I know that in Android you can inject standalone APKs into an existing APKs. And that is what I had in mind. So basically, when you're doing the APK, when you're doing like the mCDSS, if it works, then it has to depend on Mozilla, but Mozilla can do without it. So that is the Mozilla can exist without mCDSS, but mCDSS cannot exist without Mozilla. So in this case, it will offer services the same way the barcode reader does for us. So you can choose to run Mozilla without the barcode reader. So a similar case, but in that case, it's not a plugin; it's a separate APK. We can call it Mozilla.
Which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is fine. Yeah, but it might be interesting to look at the plugin options. Okay. Just from a technical standpoint, Kodi is my favorite plugin application. You guys are familiar with Kodi, right?
Yep.
Have you heard of Kodi?
I've heard of Kodi.
Yeah. Have you ever installed it?
No.
Yeah, you should install it. It's ridiculous. It's very, very nice. It has all the movies you'll ever want to watch. Anyway, so Kodi, you can add plugins for different. You have an Android app, and then basically you can do add-ons on top of it. It will give you an example.
Yeah. So basically, Martin, I think the last time I looked at it was some times back. But basically, the way Kodi does it is what I've just explained. So what Kodi calls, what they're calling plugins are basically APKs.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only thing is that when you're doing your UI, and Mozilla has done that already. So when you're doing your UI, you are checking the existence of a certain plugin, in quotes. And if it exists, then you behave in a different way.
Yes.
So it's basically what we explain. APKs.
Okay, but what Kodi does, it hides those APKs from them being shown on somebody's screen necessarily, right?
Yeah, it hides them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that makes sense then.
So, and I think maybe on the same point, there was a to-do for header, and I've just remembered it because we had discussed logging, and this is doing like audit trails, and we were still stuck on that option of having login as a plugin.
So yeah, can you explain a little bit more for that one for me, Sam?
Yeah. So we needed to do logins or audit trails on Mozilla, like tracking at what time and everything.
Is it like
and what we meant
logging on the device?
Yeah, on the device itself.
Okay.
And what we discussed then is that will add a lot of overhead. So basically, the application will be a little bit slower. And so we thought the best option would be to make it optional, so that you can use Mozilla without logging, which makes it fast, or you can use it with trails, which will slow it down. So the same discussion that we're having came up. So this logging, how do we add it to Mozilla?
So I think first thing in my mind is that not only about the performance issue, but also that the space issue on the devices, especially like we are dealing with very old devices with very small spaces. do you know how much extra space, like in general, like if we want to turn on the audit trail for the logging, is it going to be very, very small files, or what's the size usually?
No, normally audit trail is never a small file. So
Okay.
because the trail is based on usage,
Uh-huh.
so it's never small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I think what Martin had mentioned then is that you had that discussion earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there are some design notes. Do you still have those?
I can dig through my notes, and I think we did talk about it a long time ago, the logging thing. So I can link that to here.
Okay.
So I misunderstood the logging to do here. I thought I was just creating like new pages for all these things to be together. So I misunderstood the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, sorry. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's more just getting those notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Eda.
Yes.
I at the bottom there I just put a few examples, like coming up with a list of projects for the students.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. And so the plugin and all that stuff, just forever swap, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
Those
what
are relative.
yeah, those have what I have in mind as well. Yeah, the plugin.
Okay.
Or we can look.
Yeah.
And also we can also maybe have maybe one project like to let the student to compare the login versus adding additional APK into one APK as if like belong to one APK to do the comparisons in terms of performance and then usability. So that it gives us options that it's like kind of evaluation. One student can do the evaluation, and based on that we can have another project from that. Instead of just have like someone just to work on the plugin.
Yeah, no, Sandy is a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, no, sure.
Yeah, I think that would be better because I think we're kind of naive on both right now, so that if someone can do comparison for assessment for us, we have more information. We have more information to make the decision which route we want to go. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing we need is an installer plug and play type of thing between Mozilla and OpenMRS. The way Barney and all those guys are doing it, where if you have an implementation that's thinking of installing OpenMRS, okay, and Mozilla at the same time, okay, almost having I don't know what the right word is.
I think.
And actually,
are you trying to say like I think we can modify the OpenMRS installer to include some of the Mozilla modules, so that when they do the setup, it's already there. But on the APK side, I don't think it separates. It cannot be together. Don't you think? It's two different devices.
Yeah, well, I think the whole idea of someone potentially interested in OpenMRS, okay, and making it easier for them to install both. But we are talking any other business here, guys. Was there anything else about CDSS?
I'm sorry.
She knows all these nooks and crannies.
No, no, we switched. We're already talking any other business.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure that there's nothing CDSS.
Yes, that's right. Sam's the boss.
No, I think it's right. The only thing that we
Sam
need to do is to do the to-dos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do the to-dos.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, how about like I think I can have my to-do probably ready, in a couple of days. Just look through my notes, and then how about for Simon and Sam, for you guys to do, how much time you guys need?
Sorry, Ada?
So I think the question is how much time you guys need for your to-do so that we can follow up next call.
Yeah, so I think I'll need maximum 4 days for my to-do that I didn't do earlier.
Okay.
But now there is a new to. I'm giving Simon one more to do, so I want him to look between Green Robot and Auto, and also give his opinion. And then there is a new to do for both of us to look at the plugin, how to do Android plugins.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think those are the to-dos that we have to work on.
Okay. So Simon, would that be reasonable? Maybe we schedule a call either next Thursday or Friday. Like.
Yeah. I think we could do next Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
Because most of this I think I'll do on Thursday because I have a crazy schedule up to.
Yeah. Everyone wants Simon.
So Thursday, same time, or Friday, I think it's fine with.
So does it work for you, Martin? Next Thursday, same time, Sam?
Yeah,
that works for me.
My schedule next week. So I have to travel to Ethiopia next week. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a little bit crazy. So I hope I'll be in a place with good internet. Okay. So put it as a tentative for me. Okay.
Okay. So next Thursday, 11. If I'm sorry, 7 p.m. If things change, we can communicate again. Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So I think now we all three of us need to do our to-do, and then we share back on the Google Doc. And then maybe next Wednesday we can just to see if we finish our to-do or we need more time, and then we can confirm the Thursday call.
Cool.
Okie dokie. I think you guys need to go and eat your dinner.
Yeah. So, Eda,
yes?
just to finish up, okay. So I added a couple of things there. One of them is like, can we get OpenMRS HTML forms working with Muzima? Could be a student project, unless I'm crazy, right? Because that could be a big win.
So we still have time to put in the GSOP project if you guys want to do it now. But it needs to be quick, and also we need to have someone dedicate, maybe 2 person to dedicate as like the project lead to editing the student. It's possible. It's something that you guys can consider, but we need to do it quick.
Yeah.
So,
guys, yeah.
By OpenMRS forms, you mean working out of the box? You just pick HTML form and runs on Mozilla?
Well, that, or it converts it into a format that can run on Mozilla, right?
Okay.
Whatever you guys think makes sense. Because that's going to be a big win for us to convince guests to start using Mozilla. Yeah.
So I think the best way is maybe based on the I think we need to pick something. We need to pick something to base on. So for maybe to include as like the clinical forms or HIV forms or something like that, so that as a package. So when they open it with the SEAL dictionary, as the metadata, and so when they open it up, at least like the registration form, maybe HIV form, TB form is already there. That might be a selling point.
Well, yeah, I think it might be, but how often do implementations share forms, right? So
no, that is just as a package, like so
okay.
that for example, especially for smaller implementation, this is how they roll out. They don't, they can make changes if they need. But that is we need to stick with some maybe WHO guideline or something to create those sample. That's one way to.
So that's doing the installer type Mozilla OpenMRS step.
Yeah. So which one you're talking about then?
No, I'm talking about the last point, where if people have HTML forms in OpenMRS, but it's a question. That's why I have it as a question. Is it possible to have a project where a student tries to take that and make it work within Mozilla?
Oh, actually, there's a project for that, and there's a student interested in that. We just don't have any. I don't think Win can be the GSOC lead on that project. If Sam or Simon are interested, I can say that we submit the paper. I mean the project, because we submit last year, but we did not. We end up not doing that. Hold on a second. Let me look that up. Actually, I have.
Guys, can you do it and then it just becomes part of your work hours?
Can you send the link, Eda?
Yes, I can do it. Actually, the student just contacted us like last week, and I haven't replied yet. So if you guys can do it, that'll be great. I'm looking at it. Let's just go to my talk. Martin, I know what you're talking about, to convert the HTML form into Ozima form, to render that, yeah. Yeah, we did the this one. Hold on a second. This one. So if Sam or and Simon can do it, we can update here, and then we can join the submit again. But you can make changes, Sam and Simon. What do you guys think?
I think I've seen it.
Yeah. If you think this is not the right direction, you can modify it.
No, I think I'm just at a point. I think that's what Martin is talking about. I think
Yeah.
that's the right direction.
Yeah. I agree with his selling point, actually. I think his is better selling point, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that you might have time? Can you commit time on this one? Because I think at the beginning it might take a little bit more time for the student, to entertain the student. Yeah.
So I'll leave that to say. I don't think I will be able to, and I think I don't think I'll be able to for the next few months.
Well,
So
Tom, so the question to you is this. If you're coming under the institute, right?
Sorry?
And you made this, if you're coming under the institute and we made this part of your work.
Yeah, I think if that is my part of my work, that will work. Will work because from the beginning I'll still be shuttling between the institute and Moy. So, but I think that works. So if this is part of my work under the institute, that would work for me.
Okay.
so can I just put you here?
Yeah. So I think I'll
Good. Yeah.
with the primary mentor.
And I put Simon here.
Okay.
I cannot see them. Okay. So okay.